let's continue our chapter number 4, Vedic period. Last we left off about the Vedic culture, its literature, linguistics, and archaeology. Let's continue. Last we left off about the Vedic literature, that is Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharvaveda. Later, Brahman text, Aryanaka text, and Upanishads were created. They are also considered as integral part of the Vedic literature. Vedic literature was created over a prolonged time. Its completion took about 1500 years. It is the only source of information about the life of Vedic people. It offers a glimpse of the organization of Vedic society, Vedic family, and the day-to-day life of the Vedic people. Varna system. The Vedic society was organized into 4 classes known as Varna, namely Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras. The Varna system is first mentioned in the 10th mandala, means chapter of Rig Veda. In the later Vedic period, the Varna system lost its flexibility. Also, the caste system got rooted firmly by this period. In the beginning of the Varna or the caste was decided by one's occupation. Later, it became impossible to change the occupation. It came to be determined on the basis of birth. Hence, it became impossible to change one's varna and caste in which he or she was born. Next, we have ashram system. The ashram system of the Vedic culture lays down the norms of living an ideal life by dividing the span of human life into 4 successive stages, namely Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyas ashram. In the first stage, one was expected to spend an austere life and earn knowledge and necessary occupational skill. In the second stage, one was expected to fulfill one's prescribed duty with one's wife by his side. In the third stage, one was expected to retire from the active life of the householder and, if the need be, to give advice to the younger people. It was also desirable that one should stay away from human settlement. In the fourth and the last stage, one was expected to renounce all the family bonds except a wandering life and to go away. A sannyasi was not permitted to settle at one place for a longer time. Third, the early Vedic culture is unfolded through Vedic literature. The Rig Vedic culture is the culture of the early Vedic period. The tribe of the early Vedic period staying in the Sapta Sindhu region We had already discussed the region of Sapt Sindhu that have mentioned in Rig Veda. Among them occur the name like Puru, Anu, Yadu, Dhruvyu, Turvash, etc. They were the tribes who subsisted on agriculture. The Rig Veda mentioned a battle known as Dashradnya Yuddha that was fought among 10 tribal chiefs. In the early Vedic period, along with the Rig Vedic tribes, other local tribes also stayed in the Sapt Sindhu region, who did not belong to the Rig Vedic people. Other tribe you can see in the map. They were called Das, Dasyu and Pani. Panis were looked upon as enemy by the Vedic people. Panis used to steal the cattle of the Vedic people. Let's study their tribal settlement. The tribal settlements and the Vedic people residing there have been mentioned as Krishtya in the Rig Veda. Krish means plowing, hence the people who plowed and also their settlement were mentioned as Krishtya. The importance of agriculture is clearly emphasized in the 10th mandala of Rig Veda. It states that for the farmer, his plowshare is the mean of obtaining food. The deities, Ashwins and Indra was supposed to be the god of agriculture. It is mentioned that the Ashwins hold the plow and make available food in large quantities. Urvara means cultivable land prepared by plowing. Indra is mentioned as Lord of Urvara. Urvarapati also it's known as. Barley was the main crop grown by the Vedic people. The 10th mandala of the Rig Veda mentioned well water used for irrigation. According to its description, a stone wheel tied with earthen jar known as Rahat Kadke in Marathi was used to draw water from the well. It is instructed to secure the belt firmly around the jar. The Rig Veda described the palace of Lord Varuna having 1,000 doors. But this description is an allegory indicative of the imagination of the poet. There is no evidence available so far to support this kind of Vedic architecture. Along with agriculture, the early Vedic people also practiced animal husbandry. Cattle, buffaloes, and horses formed part of their pastoral wealth. The god who protected their animal was known as Pushan. The chariot maker in this period was known as Rathakara, and the carpenter were known as Takshan. Rathkar and Takshan were artisans of importance. A Rathkara was supposed to have a good knowledge of carpentry too. The carpenter used to make wooden utensils, equipment necessary for performing the sacrificial rituals. Other objects of domestic utilities were also made by him. The Rig Veda mentioned boat with 100 oars known as Aritharam. This description affords a glimpse of the skill of the carpenter of those times. The Rig Veda does not have a specific term for the potter. However, there are separate terms for utensils for specific use. Ukha was the term used for cooking pot. The other terms like patra, kumbha, kalasha, etc. also occur. A potter is mentioned as an artisan in the Yajurved for the first time as Kulal. Vaya means the weaver, and its feminine as it occurs in Rig Veda is Vaya. Along with this, there are terms associated with the textile industry. Tantum, weft, otum, weft, shuttle, tasar are a few of them. Rig Veda also mentions woolen cloth. Urna is the word for wool. However, Rig Veda does not mention cotton or silk cloth. The artisan who worked on leather was known as Charamana. Various objects of leather are mentioned in the Rig Veda. Objects made of gold, Haryana, of copper, bronze, or iron, ayas are mentioned. Iron was not yet common in the early Vedic period. The artisans who made the metal objects were known as Karmar. The Varna system seems to have established by the end of the early Vedic period. The 10th mandala of the Rig Veda, in which this system finds the first mention, is supposed to be composed at the end of early Rig Vedic period. The chariot has been already mentioned. A cart was known as Anas. The river transport was known as Navya. Pushan was the lord of the land routes, while Varuna and Ashwin were the lords of water routes. The Rig Veda also mentioned trade by exchange, negotiation, and traders traveling far and wide to earn profit. At times, though rarely, an ornament called Nishka was used like money. Later Vedic period. Later Vedic period is dated to around 1000 to 600 before Common Era. The information about this period is gathered from the treatises written in that period. The material culture as reflected in the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata was studied with the help of archaeological evidence. A picture of the migration in the later Vedic period can be gathered from the Sapt Sindhu region toward the east and is geographic marker from the literature of that period. This period saw the spread of Vedic culture from the foothills of Himalayas in the north to the Vindhya mountains in the south. There is story of Vedga Matva. Vedaha Matva also is known as, in this context, that occur in Shatapatha Brahman. It appears in this story that the later Vedic people were settling and bringing an land under cultivation from the west to the east. The later Vedic period saw a gradual formation of confederacies of the Vedic villages. They were known as Janpada. Generally, the senior and the elite in a Janpada collectively took social decision. They functioned like oligarchic state. The powerful Janpadas among them gradually expanded into Mahajanpada. In the next lecture, inshallah, we will see about the formation of Janpadas and republics.